Let's talk about a company that has a genuine superpower. It seems to thrive on crisis. We're going to unpack the incredible story of Magazine Luiza, a company that has turned every major challenge Brazil has thrown at it into a massive competitive advantage. It's really a story about survival, constant reinvention, and how to build a retail giant from the ground up. To get a sense of just how successful they've been, just look at this number. Between 2016 and 2020, Magazine Luiza's stock shot up by an absolutely staggering 1,800%. It hit a market cap of over 170 billion reals. Now, that wasn't just a lucky break. It was the payoff from decades of really smart, tough decisions. So that brings us to the big question, right? How on earth did a small, family-run gift shop from Franca, a city way out in the countryside, grow into a digital powerhouse that now goes toe-to-toe with global giants like Amazon and regional leaders like Mercado Livre? Well, the answer is a masterclass in strategy. We're going to walk through their journey in 5 key stages. We'll start at the very beginning with its foundation in crisis. Then we'll look at how they innovated before the internet was even a thing. We'll cover their huge digital transformation, see how they built an entire ecosystem, and finally, look at their massive new bet on AI. Okay, so let's rewind the clock. Our story kicks off in 1957 in Franca, São Paulo. The founders, Luiza and Pellegrino Donato, opened a little gift shop called A Cristaleira, and they were solving a really basic problem. Working-class families wanted things like radios and appliances, but they couldn't get credit. So Magalu built their business one trusted relationship at a time. The early years were all about steady, careful growth. By '74, they had their first big department store. But the real trial by fire came in the 1980s, which was known as Brazil's lost decade. While other businesses were collapsing under hyperinflation, Magalu survived. How? By staying lean and, importantly, doubling down on giving credit to their customers. That resilience really set the stage for the next generation, when the founder's niece, Luiza Helena Trajano, took the reins as CEO in 1991. And this is where the story gets really wild. The 1990s in Brazil, well, it was a tough time economically. The crisis wasn't just a setback. It was an existential threat. It forced them to completely rethink the entire concept of retail. I mean, try to imagine this. Inflation was hitting 80% per month. That means the products sitting in your warehouse were losing value not just by the day, but by the hour. Stocking a big store was basically financial suicide. So what do you do when your entire business model is suddenly impossible? Luiza Helena made a move that was just brilliant and totally counterintuitive. She started opening stores with nothing in them, 0 products on the shelves. And get this, it's 1992. The commercial internet doesn't even exist in Brazil yet. Customers would walk into this tiny little storefront, look at the company's entire catalog on a screen, place an order, and have it delivered right to their home. They basically invented e-commerce before e-commerce. And here's the crucial takeaway. This crazy idea, born out of a crisis, wasn't just a temporary fix. It became the company's core DNA. It taught them how to separate the customer relationship from the crippling cost of physical inventory. And that lesson, well, it would become their superpower decades later. Okay, let's fast forward. In 2016, the third generation takes over, with Frederico Trajano becoming CEO. His mission was crystal clear: transform Magazine Luiza from a traditional retailer into a technology company. Full stop. This slide just nails the shift in thinking. Frederico completely reframed the company's identity. They weren't a chain of stores that just happened to have a website anymore. No, they were a digital platform that just happened to have this amazing network of physical locations that could be used as pickup points, service centers, and mini distribution hubs. So how'd they do it? It really came down to 3 key things. First, they built LuizaLabs, their own in-house tech center inspired by the culture at Google. That gave them incredible speed. Second, they launched their marketplace. Now, this was a huge deal. It meant their website wasn't just for their own stuff anymore. It became a platform for thousands of other businesses. And third, you saw their agility during COVID. LuizaLabs got their store employees selling over WhatsApp in a matter of weeks, and sales grew 49% even when the physical stores were shut. So once that digital foundation was solid, they got really ambitious. They took a page from the playbook of Chinese tech giants like Alibaba and went on a massive shopping spree. The goal? To build a super app, a single place for basically every part of a customer's life. Between 2019 and 2021, they scooped up 22 different companies, and each purchase was like slotting another piece into this giant puzzle. Netshoes added fashion. Canaltech brought a huge audience and the beginnings of an ad business. iFood added food delivery. And KaBuM, their biggest buy, plunged them straight into the booming gaming market. The whole idea was to completely own the customer relationship. So what really sets Magalu apart from these massive competitors? This slide sums it up perfectly. Their biggest advantage, their secret weapon, is their omni-channel footprint. It's a fancy word, but it just means they seamlessly blend their physical stores with their digital operations. For Magalu, their 1,200-plus stores aren't just stores. They're local warehouses and super-fast delivery hubs. That's an asset that a purely digital player like Mercado Livre just can't replicate overnight. You combine that with their own tech from LuizaLabs and their own bank, and you've got a business that is incredibly tough to beat. And that brings us to today and the next great reinvention. After building the digital platform and the ecosystem, Magalu is now going all in on artificial intelligence. They're convinced it's the next fundamental shift in how we all shop. And you don't have to wonder if it's working. The early results are just wow. This chart shows that when a customer talks to their AI assistant on WhatsApp, the chance they'll actually buy something is 3 times higher than on the regular app. 3 times. That's not a small improvement. That's a game changer. At the very heart of this strategy is Lu, their virtual influencer. And in a crazy smart move, they created her over 20 years ago. With 32 million followers, she's not just a mascot, she's a cultural icon in Brazil. So now they've given her an AI brain and turned her into a personal sales agent on WhatsApp, which everyone in Brazil uses. Their goal is to make just chatting with an AI the main way you shop. And you really get a sense of how big this is for them when you hear from the CEO, Frederico Trajano. He's putting this AI shift on the same level of importance as the creation of e-commerce itself and the invention of the smartphone. So for Magalu, this isn't some new feature. It's the entire future of the company. So when you step back and look at the whole story, from a tiny gift shop that survived hyperinflation to an e-commerce pioneer to a digital platform, and now to an AI-first company, Magalu's entire history is a cycle of turning massive challenges into powerful advantages. Which really leaves us with one final, fascinating thought. Is their biggest transformation still ahead?